Hello, my Bandicoot crew. Today's video is going to be a little different. I got a request in the comments section saying which Crash Bandicoot characters can play an instrument, and that reminded me of a video I saw not too long ago about which Smash Brothers characters can play an instrument. So I'm almost positive that the person who commented that got the idea from that Smash Brothers video. And the channel that did that video also did which Smash Brothers characters can eat pizza, if I'm remembering correctly. I didn't want to copy the video exactly, so I tried to pick something that would be more crashy. So I had decided to pick which Crash Bandicoot characters can dance. But I didn't want it to be a super gigantic video. The Smash Brothers video just had the Smash Brothers characters. So it wasn't like every single Mario character. So I didn't want to do every single Crash character. So I decided to do the original trilogy. So that brings us to these 20 characters you see here. We have Crash, Coco, Tana, Fake Crash, Aku Aku, Polar, Purra, Dingodile, Tiny Tiger, Koala Kong, Dr. Cortex, Dr. Brio, Dr. Engine, Dr. Entropy, Uka Uka, Papu Papu, Rripperoo, Pinstripe, and the Komodo brothers. I did not include Baby T because there are multiple Baby Ts, whereas there is only one Polar and one Purra. So I'm just going to go in order as I have them listed, and the first one is actually going to be a double. Crash and Coco both do the Crash Dance in Crash Nitro Kart. Crash Team Racing Nitro Kart. Nitro Fueled. Man, I am tongue-tied today. Crash and Coco both perform the Crash Dance in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. So Crash and Coco get the first 2 stars of this list. Then we move on to Tana. And unfortunately, I could not for the life of me find any instance of Tana dancing. All of her podium animations in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled were her just posing for the camera or doing some attacks when she was in her alternate skins. She also has a witch skin which she flies on her broom and a Christmas skin where she's throwing snowballs. But she did not have any dances. Next on the list, we have a Fake Crash, and just like Crash and Coco, he also does the Crash Dance. So out of the Bandicoots, we have 3 out of the 4. And then unfortunately, Aku Aku doesn't dance, so that is a big old red X for him. So we have 3 out of the 5 that dance so far. Then we move on to Polar. And in his podium animations, he just jumps around. He doesn't really do many dance moves. However, I did find a Japanese advertisement that had Polar dancing. It is a dance party. You can see the disco ball. I distorted the rest of the image because I didn't want to spoil upcoming stuff in this video. But as you can see, we've got Polar in the bottom corner there, and he is also dancing along with all the other characters. It says, hey, hey, hey. So he is dancing, and he can dance. So our first animal buddy gets his green star. Then we move on to Purra. Some may call this dancing, some may not, but I personally feel that this is a dance because you have Purra doing this little strut before he starts doing his jumps and his dives. He does his little strut here, strut, 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 and then he jumps all around like a happy little Purra. So I personally think that this does count as dancing. Some may not, but I personally do. So Purra gets another green star, and then we are going to move on to Dingodile. Dingodile definitely dances. Bounce, 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 bounce. Rah! He's kicking his feet up, having a ball. Look at him dance. The Dingodile dance. So Dingodile definitely dances. So he gets the green star, and then we move on to Tiny, who I also used that Japanese advertisement because all of Tiny's podium animations are pretty much just him growling and scratching. He doesn't really have any dances. So as you can see, he's not distorted. I undistorted him, and there he is right under the disco ball. He's dancing along with everyone else, kicking his foot up in the air, looking up to the sky. Tiny the Tiger's dancing. So Tiny gets a green star, and then this next clip is going to cover a lot of dancers. I'm just going to play it for you. You've got Papu, Koala Kong, Pinstripe, Cortex, and Brio, and they are all doing the Crash dance. This, of course, is taken from a Japanese advertisement. It's not an in-game cutscene or anything. But we cover Papu Papu, Koala Kong, Pinstripe, Cortex, and Brio. This is an advertisement for Crash Bandicoot 1, so I think the only reason Rripperoo isn't included in this Crash dance is because Rripperoo is in a straitjacket, so he could not move his hands. Otherwise, Rripperoo would probably be in this video as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 covered in this one clip alone. It's a shame Tana wasn't also in that video dancing along with everyone else. But she was not. So then we're going to move on to Dr. Engine. And here is Engine's dance. Not too sure what it's called. He's doing some robot moves and some crab walks, but that is the Engine dance. So far, all of the villains have danced, and now we are going to move on to Dr. Entropy. I do believe he dances, but again, this is just my interpretation. You may not agree with me, but we're going to play this clip, and you guys can tell me what you think. So this is taken from Crash Nitro Kart, and he is swinging his staff around and doing some jumps, and he's kicking his feet up. Some might take this as him fighting, but I personally just count this as him dancing because whenever Tropy fights, he doesn't actually do like hand-to-hand combat. He's usually shooting energy spheres at you or something. So all these kicks and stuff, I take that as him doing a victory dance. He's very excited and he's jumping around. So that brings us to Uka Uka, who, just like Aku Aku, unfortunately is a mask and does not really dance. So he has a red X. That brings us down to the final row. We have Rripperoo and the Komodo brothers. Rripperoo does indeed dance. So now that we've covered all the other dancers in this picture, I don't have to distort it anymore. And as you can see, Rripperoo is included in this dance party. He's laughing, and we don't know what dance he's doing, but he is on the dance floor dancing along with everyone else. And as you can see, there's a weird green Cortex. Engine, Brio were also there, but I didn't want to show them in this because I wanted to show them in the Crash dance clip. So we have Rripperoo dancing along with everyone else, so Rripperoo can dance. And then that just leaves us with the Komodo brothers. When Komodo Joe wins, he does a silly dance. Look at him go. So he does have a podium dance, and he's loving life. Which leads us to our last character on our list, and that is Kodo Mo. Unfortunately, he does not dance. I have not seen anything anywhere. I even checked the manga to see if he danced in the manga. Unfortunately, he did not. And his podium animations, he's not dancing. The only thing that might count as a dance would be the sword dance, which they're doing before Crash fights them in Crash 2. They're throwing swords back and forth to one another, but I didn't really want to count that. So there you have it. We have 16 out of the 20, or 80% of the original trilogy characters that can indeed dance. If you guys have any ideas for another video like this, feel free to put it in the comment section. I don't really want to copy anyone else's ideas, so if you could think of something crashy that we could see if other characters have done, let me know in the comment section. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you in the next one. Take Take care.